Everyone loves an underdog story, and today beGenius is delivering. They are up 2-0 over Tricked Esports, who right now is looking pretty inconsistent. The first couple of weeks, we could tell they were coming together as a team. They were getting it down. They finally do get it down. They have the meta all figured out. Suddenly we're on the Genji patch, and things aren't looking too well.
You know who also feels pretty good today?
Who feels good?
The Ducks.
Ducks.
Yeah.
Feeling good, yeah. It's talking about standings, right?
Exactly. Not only about the standings, but also they've been talking about how they are the only one who actually fell to beGenius. Now all of a sudden it's Tricked, who is not out yet, but is struggling quite a lot. So the Ducks are probably sitting back at home watching this and they're saying, you see, they are playing better. It's not us. It's them all of a sudden just stepping it up completely. I'm happy for beGenius. It's a bit sad for Tricked, but they have a chance, of course, to come back into this. But beGenius looks crisp, and I really want to see what they're drafting now, because they started with a delay comp. They went into a snipe comp. What's going to be happening on map number 3?
What is next? Let's figure out the battleground so we know what strategies we will have available for us. It's going to be a Cursed Hollow, and beGenius with the pick. Tricked Esport is heavy here on the first picks.
Yeah, they are, and I want to see something change on their part. It was pretty much telegraphed what their opponent was doing. I'm still thinking about the last draft, and I'm thinking of what would you do to actually shut that down early on. I think the double global was not a bad idea. It feels they just underestimated that the coordination for beGenius would be there, because after the ban on Uther, it was kind of transparent what the idea was. The only thing that can really just shut the combo down is a Divine Shield, as I said. So they substituted into the next best thing with the Ancestral, but those didn't come out fast enough. So it's a bit tricky for them right now, and they have to really think about what's going on here. Because the cool thing about this is, it's not like beGenius played the same strategy twice. It's not. Yeah. It's not as if you could simply head into this and say, okay, we ban out Varian, and that's it. It's done. So they showed two completely different approaches, and they might have a third or fourth one up. We don't know, and I'm excited to find out.
And that's kind of hard, too, when you're down 0-2, because normally if you are 0-2 and you are against the same strategy twice in a row, you go, okay, here's how we shut it down, we keep moving forward, and then you can adapt and have the reverse sweep. But when you have different strategies coming your way, and also different strategies from what we saw last week, too, against the playing Ducks, beGenius seems to be playing everything. The
thing is also, guys, you have to really give Tricked a little bit of credit here. It's not that Tricked is playing bad, beGenius is just right now playing better. There's a ban on Varian. I watched so many scrims of the big 3 of Tricked 2, and they look good. beGenius makes them look bad right now. That's what's happening there. And this is incredibly impressive considering where beGenius is coming from. So they are completely stepping up their game. They're playing so much better right now. And Tricked just wasn't expecting this and is having a much harder time than they thought they would have. So yeah, this is beGenius just turning onto a completely different level. And they start again with the ban on Gul'dan, and this time Tricked going into the Grey Main, taking a lot of the elements away that beGenius was using to make that second win happen.
Take away a lot of the blow-up potential, the Cursed Bullet, the go for the throat. Anything not available here for beGenius. Now Gul'dan continues to be banned out, and we mentioned the reasons why in game number 1, but for those that are just now joining us, beGenius seems to have a really hard time. They group up pretty heavily in team fights, and Horrify has been devastating for them multiple times, so they just stay away from it. No longer available here. Now beGenius moving into Cursed Hollow. Something to note, this is a team that will run Abathur, and they've ran it in the past pretty darn often, and Tricked Esport with the Varian ban has left Abathur open.
Yeah, to me it feels also a bit as if they would always go for one particular strategy that has one path. I'm just waiting for them to pick Ethereal and Morales and us seeing a backdoor comp. I don't think it's happening, but this is the extent it goes right now. They're drafting, that's all of it. There's the Abathur comp. Immediately, Abathur is allowed for the first time. They are known to be a team that has been running Abathur in the past, and they lock it down. Tricked would have maybe picked it up themselves, but now beGenius, they go into Abathur, Anuburak. They might even run a Tracer comp.
They leave Abathur open, though, or they grab Abathur with Dahaka and Falstad open, which is one of the best ways that you can shut down this aggression, especially Dahaka in particular. However, beGenius, if they rotate into an auto-attacker, they can leave Abathur behind walls and just build out for the hat build. Still auto-attackers available, as you mentioned, Tracer, Illidan, even Vola, Zul'jin to a degree. These options are available for beGenius, so Tricked Esport needs to take this in consideration when they move into their next picks.
Muradin as a second tank is also benefiting from Abathur, so they all of a sudden make Muradin, if they want to play him, even stronger. They can jump into the backline with Anuburak and with Muradin and then just absolutely wreak havoc, especially after level 16. The reason for that is that Muradin has, of course, on level 7 his auto attack speed increase, and the mini stuns, and once that Abathur gets on the level 16, is slow with the symbiote spike, then you can get so much damage out with Mirrodin, and the level 13 talent on Abathur helps you to keep Mirrodin alive even more, even though he's already a beast. So you can use that if you want. Of course, they do not have to pick the Mirrodin here, but it opens up another option for them that really synergizes well with their start in the draft.
Tyrael, Dahaka being grabbed here. Tyrael synergizing with that Greymane, allowing for your dives, invocations for the last minute saves, even just the ability to go in for an aggressive play while you're at full health and to make sure that Greymane does not get CC'd.
Yeah, also, a big plus for Tyrael on this map is Holy Ground. Not only for bosses, you can steal them away from the opponent, but there's so many small corridors on the map around the tributes that you can easily just split an opponent's team with a good Holy Ground. So that is something that we have to watch out for. And on top of it, it adds an extra layer of threat to the comp of your opponent if you run the Tyrael Cursed Hollow, because you have the opportunity to grab bosses really fast with a good sanctification or force a fight that you're going to win in the late game. So that is always a big threat, and oftentimes fights are decided by teams playing around the opportunity for a boss.
Falstad will be banned out, so beGenius will not take the opportunity to take Falstad and maybe do a double global soak. They've seen it in the past here, often more with Dahaka, but you can pull it off with the Falstad gameplay. So Falstad no longer being available. Dahaka probably one of my favorites to pick up against an Abathur. It prevents him from going into the bushes and soaking lanes effectively with his body, as well as Symbiote there, so he can slow down the experience gain that the opposing team can get. So far, Trick Esports is in a pretty good spot. I'm just more curious about where beGenius will be heading into for that pickup to make sure that they have a hero that excels really well with Abathur on top of his head.
Arthas is another option.
Yeah.
So I'm a bit curious. For me personally, it's a question what trick better span out now. But if, let's say beGenius goes into a Mirrodin. Arthas would work well, but let's say it's a Mirrodin. Mirrodin with Abathur and an Uberak. You dive in, you cocoon, you jump in with Mirrodin, you have the Abathur on top of you after his copy wears out, you have maybe a Li Ming behind you. There's so much potential for really aggression for beGenius, and this is what they usually like to do. It just hasn't worked out in the past, but with the role swap that we saw, they are on a different level now. So let's see if they go into an Arthas comp with the Anubarak. They go for the Rhaegar first. That's also, of course, a shield. There's also a lot of burst heal.
So it should be a double tank then, with the Rhaegar being picked up.
Yeah, definitely.
Huge indicator here. I actually wouldn't mind the Mirrodin now more.
Also Illidan. Illidan is still an option. The Li Ming, I love it, and I expected Li Ming as the backliner. My biggest question is who is the second frontliner, and it is, in my opinion, I think there's three big options for them. Arthas, more so I would like the Mirrodin, and I could see an Illidan here. They played that in the past, and that is definitely a tool they are comfortable using.
Illidan on the board here for beGenius. Trick Esport does have decent tools already to deal with Illidan pressure coming their way. They have Tyrael, they have Dahaka if he lands a drag or even an isolation. That's a dead Illidan.
Arcane usually plays Illidan for them though, and I think he was also the one that played Abathur the last time. So I'm not sure how much overlap they have in their hero pool for these, if they can just simply switch that out. But I think he played both of them. But I guess we're going to see in a second. For now, it's about Trick. And Trick is saying, okay, we're going to take the Lucy with this. This means also that they don't have a cleanse. That comes into play mainly with the Anubarak so far. Yeah. But it could, of course, also change things a little bit once that we're seeing the last pick. There's the Arthas. So that it leaves, in my opinion, as great heroes. Again, the Mirrodin with the Abathur synergy later on. And also Illidan, if you don't use this. Is that another melee assassin that really jumps to your awareness that we could see here with that setup?
Nothing that jumps out for Abathur.
Yeah, I mean, we have a few, but it's nothing where I would really say, okay, this is beGenius.
Yeah.
And also catering towards the map.
Arthas really also takes away the Illidan for me. I feel like you just go for the general route here and you pick up the Vala instead. Just
see what Trick has here. Tyrael, Dahaka, Arthas. That's such a heavy front line right now. That's definitely switching it up a bit. Because now you have Arthas with increase a little bit tanky to deal with. You have the Sanctification on Tyrael. There's all of a sudden a lot of tools. And Trick goes in, they are committed.
Yeah, they are set up to hold down the fight overall. It's got to be something on here. Or, of course, you could just go into Tychus and just let Abathur do his thing on the side and slow down things, and then we can peel down the warriors.
Go double Anubarak maybe and just have two front lines with that.
Yeah.
It's a weird copy to have. Sonya, okay. Yeah, I guess Sonya makes sense as well. She slipped my mind for a bit. With the Abathur, she has a bit more sustain, even outside of the Whirlwind. We do not have too many stuns on the side of Trick, so not really a whole lot that can get her out of the whirlwind. There's a few tools available, but it's not impossible to get a good amount of whirlwind value here.
Yeah, she's actually a bit of a beast here. The Dahaka has to use the drag there to get Sonya, which leaves Li Ming on a point to just drop down button. So Greymane has to be aggressive into the back line, and if Li Ming survives that, Sonya will start to win the fight, especially with Wrath and an Abathur hat. It's actually a really good pick there for the final.
Yeah, you're also in a situation in which your opponent is running so many melees or pseudo-melees with Greymane that you will always get decent value. You have the hat on top of you, Rhaegar with a lightning shield that alone already does a fair amount of damage. You can even spec into it a little bit later for extra damage since we are having such a melee-heavy front line for Tricked. So yeah, Sonya is definitely a good pick. I don't think it was the original one, considering how long they waited here. But with the Arthurs in particular, that took a lot of the options away from them. And Mirrodin probably, I guess it was also on their mind. But the one big argument against Mirrodin is his power spike in terms of damage comes so late that they're probably not willing to risk it. Because before 16, he doesn't have the same impact that he would have before.
And then there's always a threat of Curse Bullet. You pop the Avatar, jump in, and you get burned down so quickly that you might not even get enough healing to deal with it, even though Assessor was there for Rhaegar. Let's go ahead and get ready for game number 3. It's Cursed Hollow time here. beGenius looking for a 3-0, but Trick Esport drafting well enough to make sure they can stop that from happening.
Heroes.
beGenius has a 2-0 lead. As crazy as it sounds, the French team is showing up. They did well against the Ducks, and now against Trick, they are looking fantastic here today. A 2-0 lead as we have them spawning to the left of Cursed Hollow with Danatan on Anubarak, with Unstable on Rhaegar, Tank for the win on Sonya, Arcane on Abathur, and Kira on Li Ming.
Trick Esport and the red over here on the side, currently not having a victory underneath their belt, looking for the first one here. Nape will be playing Lucio. We're going to have Dahaka be played by Rimmer. Arthas will be played by Alex Saprogi. Eternal on Tyrael, and Crosby will be playing Greymane.
Crosby and the Greymane here in Trick, they definitely have to step it up at this point. This is not really looking the way they wanted to. And yeah, a lot of people are, of course, now following the game at this point and are just saying, hey, what's going on here? Quacknix, Fnatic, they qualified earlier for Sweden. They took the first spot, and even he has been cheering up his boys. This is reverse sweep day. Cheer up, my friends, and shouting out to Alex the Progi and Gnapper. But of course, he was also stating that he has to credit beGenius for the incredible performance here. So yeah, all our HGC teams are currently watching what's happening here, and for very good reason. We have an exciting series on our hands, and Trick, of course, wants to make that reverse sweep happen.
Been a big day for Super Sunday here at the HGC. Abathur hat comes in at the last second as battle will be brought out in the bottom here. Trick Esport is pushing in to grab these turrets, especially with Greymane and Tyrael in that front line. Tier 1, Dinartan attempting to do the same in the top right. Rimmer a bit more equipped here to handle this pressure, especially with Li Ming not really providing the best auto attacks. He'll go ahead and tank those orbs as he can use Essence to heal on up.
Rimmer currently determined, as is the rest of Trick Esports, to turn this around. It's not going to be easy, but Cursed Hollow would be a good start. Pressure play down to the bottom where Unstable is eating a lot of damage. Tower number 1 is falling in the mid lane. Arthas is pushing out the waves, pushing against Abathur. He who has taken position is able to just set those mines up to stop rotations. But to the top lane, Kirva and Danatan on the Anubarak are able to break through the wall, take both towers and the gate down.
Watching out for that 2-minute mark that will be occurring here. We're watching as both teams head to 4. Grabbing those turrets does help out with that quest to get that 4, as you want to be able to unlock your talents here. Trick Esport, though, moving in aggressively on that bottom.
Yeah, and this bottom has been abandoned by beGenius completely, and the reason is actually simple. They just said, guys, we go to the top lane and we trade fort for fort. We're not going to be able to hold this one down to the bot lane forever, so we take the one at the top instead. And we also try to get the kill against the Haka, and there it is. Once again, beGenius getting the first kill in the game.
There's a sense of clarity here with beGenius. They seem to have just figured things out in terms of control. This call was pretty brilliant in itself. Understanding what your composition does, what you can't stop against your opponent, and then even going for an aggressive play and diving into Haka in the top right corner. This is something that 3 weeks ago, if you told me beGenius would be playing this well, I would have told you that you are a liar, and I would have called you out instantly. And beGenius right now is just proving that they have been putting in the work.
I'm just loving that we are being proved. They proved to us now that last weekend was not a fluke. It was not a fluke that they did well against the playing Ducks. It was just an overall improvement on the team. And they just took an opportunity here to improve their own play and making it work right now. And this is looking much, much better. They are starting to show up here, and Trick is struggling to deal with it. But of course, they are not giving up here by any means. They have the first tribute that gives them a bit of an edge. Now we are seeing the camp taken by beGenius, and therefore A bit of a pressure play in the mid lane, but Trick can react to that and should of course make that work now to make sure that the next phase, when the next tribute spawns, the camp is already taken down and is not threatening the fort itself.
They're spending time in the bottom lane, soaking up that experience. No bushes near that area, so Avatar doesn't have to worry about it. He can soak with his body. Trick Esport does have a chance to maybe run down there with Lucios, but as long as Erkin is careful and aware of his surroundings, he should be fine to go. Dahaka seems to be the target, once again, from beGenius, as they put 4 people in the top right corner. Kirball was actually spotted, I believe, by Dahaka. No? Was he?
Didn't see it, and here they come. Danatan going in, not getting the stun. Body block city is happening any second right now, and Rema Baller is dead. Dahaka down, but heroes are there immediately to take over not only the experience, but also make sure that the Siege Giant camp is depushed.
Avatar would have filled in the bottom lane. There is going to be a giant push coming in. Avatar eventually can get rid of it, but he does have a difficult time dealing with giants in the early stages here. beGenius looking to grab this tribute on the right side. Dantan leading the charge first here to body block Alex Aproji. Tank for the win in a really good spot to apply some solid damage. Avatar hack coming in, and Dantan will be forced to burrow charge away.
Alex with the interrupt as a tribute is channeled. Here comes Dahaka. In from behind is looking for the drag. Gets it, but the cleanse is out immediately. Good reaction from Unstable on the Rhaegar. No trouble here for Sonya as we see Trick starting to take a bit more control over the turn-in position, over the tribute, but still a leading experience for beGenius as they are able to soak with Avatar at the bot lane.
Trick doing a really good job of doing what they do best here with their composition and using the number of bodies they have on the field to take away the tributes. They now have 2. In fact, they're going to get aggressive here and start moving in for a boss. We're going to get sipped out, though. As Dantan moves up, Rimmer does see him as well. Dantan needs to be a bit careful overall. He wanted to get vision on top of that boss to see if they could go in for a call. Unstable, though, gets locked down. Knocked away here by Nape.
Rhaegar taken out, and this is a pretty simple calculation for Trick. They're saying, hey, there's no level 10 yet for beGenius. They do not have a copy on Avatar, so it's only 4 bodies in the fight. If we can go for the boss, we might be able to sneak it in. If not, we are totally happy to take the team fight now, and they get Rhaegar as a result. Now the tribute is spawning to the top, and that should set them up for a potential curse against beGenius.
It would be incredibly clutch here for beGenius to deny this tribute. Grab it here, they can move towards level 10 and fight for the next couple of trips to get the curse first, as they do have a lead here. 9 to 8.5 in experience. Rhaegar has spawned, and he'll be over here for the fight.
They go for boss.
Trick Esport is starting the boss.
Trick is going for boss. They're simply interrupting with Alex as long as they can. They're on the boss, which is a bit surprising to see, and we have beGenius sniffing it out.
Heads up play there, only seeing 1, and they only got it down to half health, so Trick Esport is going to be forced to pull away. They do not get the boss. They give up a tribute, and beGenius is close to level 10.
I'm not sure if I'm really liking the call here. It was a bit of a risky move, and I guess it backfired, but it looked to me as if they could really try and go for the fight here. It's a setup in which I would say they have a bit of an edge. The level 10 would not have been a problem in that time frame, but now they are a level down, and that is a big issue because, as you said, it's not only the first tribute that was now taken by beGenius, but thanks to the level 10, they should have a very solid position going for tribute number 2 as well.
beGenius now level 10 pops Wrath and charges in on their own boss. Sonya and Rhaegar should be able to burn this down pretty quickly, especially with the armor coming in.
Yeah, this is looking very solid for them. So they're going to take this one. There's no counterplay up at the top. Trick has to give this up. They're fighting for the tribute, though. If they can get the tribute, that would be a good start here. The heals out, and also when you're just looking at mana, especially Rhaegar is rather low on mana. He gets a little bit more thanks to the globe, but this is a fight that Trick could take if they were just level 10. Problematic for them is that they are barely not able to hit that.
Trick Esport getting kind of telegraphed here. They're starting to keep showing that they're the boss, and Danatan keeps sniffing it out. He'll bring out the Impale to slow it down. Careful's in the bottom right dealing with Dahaka. Dahaka can rotate in at any point. But with Rhaegar and Sonya on the way in, beGenius looking for an opportunity to go in for their own fight. If they can continue to Arthur stun in the boss like they do now, before 10 hits, they can go in for the fight. They're going to pop Erkin here on the Ultimate Evolution, and the boss is going to be stolen here by beGenius, or at least attempted so.
They have 10.
Gaming's on the way.
Rema Baller is there. Rema Baller is there. The boss stun against 3. Stuns out 3, and that's the end of Lucio. The boss stun is there. Alex is... Oh my god. Alex is down. It's a double kill. It's a triple. It's a quad kill, and the boss has been taken. Rema Baller, the only survivor. He's on the run, and Tank is high on his heels. This is a boss pushing the bot lane, a boss pushing the top lane. 2 bosses and a potential curse, as now the last player has fallen. This is a disaster.
It is a disaster. The boss finally gets cleaned up at the bottom, but the top is full and healthy right now. It's very robust. And we're getting to the later stage of the game where Amethyst starts to become a nuisance here with this hat build being popped on top of Sonya. Of course, it's got the W's that can be dropped around as well as the attack speed at level 4. beGenius hits level 13. Let's watch this boss fight here. You're going to see the new rock that's been used the Ultimate Evolution. They lock out a Thermal here on the right side. You know that Sanctification will be coming up pretty soon. The boss done hitting 3 people because of the Impale that connected. Kirvwalk comes in from the side, and he just starts chunking out orbs and missiles here. He gets low on health, but Hurricane will be able to finish the last kill, give him the dominance, and he'll be able to get the last kill with the aid of Unstable.
As you said, the Impale was really the most important skill to be used there because it kept them in the boss circle, so they couldn't move out in time to get stunned. There's the Sanctification. This is a moment for Trick to fight, but they are down 2 levels. They're down a talent. They've taken damage at their keeps. They're desperately fighting for a victory. They want Unstable. They're trying to push him off. Tank is still there, eating a bit of damage as Trick is pushing in. They could try and take the tribute. There would be a curse. Sonya gets the Ancestral, and Alex is starting to get low. Sound barrier popped. Is that going to be enough? Doesn't look like it. Kira himself really low. Alex still alive, but Nuburak is finishing him off for good.
Dan10 charges in with a burrow charge, and that is going to be the kill. Arthas has fallen, so Trick Esport makes the call to retreat. And here is the bad news. If you are a Trick Esport fan, this is going to be cursed. However, Kirvwalk going for a kill, and he gets denied.
Getting a bit over eager here, but Crosby is also falling. And Tricked Esports fans are having a rough few minutes ahead of themselves because this is beGenius going for the keep, and that's not going to be the only one. They will take more than that. At least they should try to. It's another 45 seconds of curse time.
They're waiting here. They are aware that they do not have their leaving available, so the resets are hard. Amethyst will have to finish off with a keep, so it is picked up. They move to the middle point here to get more experience. 15 right around the corner. If they soak all the lanes here too, they can set themselves up to have 16 quicker than their opponent.
Everybody's moving away on the side of Trick now. They don't have the 13 yet. beGenius on 15. 2-0 in this game. So much transference on beGenius' Avatar is helping so much in these fights. The symbiote build, just the standard if you are playing with that Avatar, and that is something that they put to really good use here. They take camps in the meantime. There's very little for them to do right now. Both of the bosses are taken. They can't claim one. The lanes are all pushed out. They don't want to engage in a team fight on level 13 talents because they're simply saying, guys, why would we? We're so close to 16. Why would we give them an opportunity where they can fight us on even footing and risk our advantage? Just wait out for 16 and take it then. So the only thing they can really do with the curse is move back, take the camps that are available on the map, and just take that as an advantage. They gotta keep. It's all for now. And they're starting to steal the rest of the camps away as well.
Yep, they're moving towards 16 here. With 16 hits, there will be a boss available in 40 seconds. So beGenius will have a play available to them. They are being a bit aggressive here. Rimmer comes in for a big flank. He's going to be able to hit a tongue of potentially Sonya or a Nuburak. Tank for the win on the back left, keep it alive for now. And we're going to see Dan10 finally falling as Trick Esport goes in for a hard engage. Tank for the win, spinning though.
Bit of a mistake on the side of beGenius, but for now it looks like they are not only losing the copy, but they also lost the Nuburak. Are they going to lose more? That's the question. Unstable being attacked, and that is Rhaegar biting the dust. Tank is also going to be attacked, and Sonya could be the third victim here.
Tank for the win, hoping to live here. He's going to keep spinning though. He's getting members low. He's going to get a kill though. Hard to kill. It looks like Kirvo comes in to bring out an orb. It does not connect, but they did buy time. There's pressure in the top and the middle, so Trick Esport will come back, but overall, Trick Esport finally wins the fight.
Yes, beGenius making a crucial mistake. I love that where they went back, they had a curse, and they realized, guys, we do not want to fight. So they went back and they tried to take the camps on the map, but they were very reluctant to give up the night camp, and that was their mistake. They didn't have a level 16 yet, and once that they had 16, they already lost the Nuburak, which is their biggest frontliner. So Trick could take a fight on 13 talents. This is the main reason why Trick actually committed to this. They were saying, guys, this is a chance. This is our opportunity to turn this around. So beGenius' only mistake so far in this game was really to take this one battle. They should have walked away from the night camp. It's incredibly difficult to do if you're already so close to completing it. But them walking away for just 10 seconds, getting 16, would have been the right call here. They made a small mistake, and that gives Trick an opportunity to come back into the game. But they're still far behind, of course, since they lost so many structures, they lost the keep, and they are still down in talents.
They are still down on talents here, about a quarter level of experience needed here for them to get 16. They may just give up this tribute. That would be definitely recommended here. Let beGenius have it. It's only one. Doesn't give them curse. and wait till 16 so you're on even footing for the next big fight. beGenius, on the other hand, will be surfacing around the battleground, keeping things pushed down. They could always sneak into a boss, but they also need to be aware that Trick Esport kept trying to make aggressive blast calls earlier.
Now keep in mind that we have talked about Tyrael during the draft. Tyrael is going to be the game changer here on 16. Thanks to the holy ground and the sanctification, boss plays are going to be incredibly important. And Trick goes immediately after they hit 16, they go for the boss. They do not care what beGenius does in the meantime, because a fight on the point would be in their favor. But beGenius, they of course realize that that is going to be an issue. So they're not waiting around on the map, they just simply move to the bot lane and take the boss. And this is the better boss for them to take, because right now we're still talking 13 minutes, 14 minutes in the game. Is there really a chance that you're dropping the core with such an early boss? Probably not, until you really, unless you will win a couple of kills at the beginning. The boss at the bot lane, on the other hand, is threatening a keep again, and that is a great scenario for beGenius to be in.
Especially aided with Abathur. Tank for the win, taking a shot here with the Cursed Bullet. We're going to have the Ancestor Healing coming out. He's spinning here to put damage on Alex the Froji. Erkin on the back line, focusing on Crosby and crew. Dinotan hits a big burrow charge, hitting 3 people. Rimmer comes in from the back left side. Kirbot working on bringing in orbs to bring out the damage. He will connect none as Tyrael dodges out, but Alex the Froji gets focused down.
The copy is also dead. We have once again Eternal in a bit of trouble. Here comes Tank for the win. And Knappe is slammed into the ground. The ragdoll thrown to half the screen. The boss is already on the keep.
It's a healthy boss too. Look at this. It's more than half health. The keep falls. And beGenius with a Sonya with a hat moves straight in for the core. They start breaking it down. They have Kirbot on the back left. If Kirbot can dance and allow Sonya to keep applying damage, they can take the core. They're dropping it. It's 70%. It's 60%. The boss, as you mentioned, just keeps shelling away.
This is going to be game. beGenius is taking down Trick Esports with a 3-0.
beGenius shows up today, wins a 3-0 against Trick Esport, and this is a team going to the Crucible. A couple weeks ago, the Open team's happy. Yeah, we got beGenius. We can get a spot here in the HGC, and now suddenly, I'm doubting if they're going to lose the next couple weeks if they keep playing like this.
It's also a really good point. If you're in the Open division and you have your choice, you're saying like, yeah, of course beGenius. I mean, easy win right there.
Yeah.
Now you've seen them play against the Ducks and here against Tricked, and you're, is that still the same team?
beGenius with a Sonya composition with an Abathur hat, breaking down through multiple warriors, getting multiple kills, and keeping up with the shot calling. One of the things that was a big turning point in that game was the constant pressure on the top right boss that Trick Esports kept trying to pull off. I understand the mentality behind it, but after you get sniffed out twice and you go for it a third time, you're looking to be punished. And we had Dinotan constantly looking for it. He made the call, he made the play, and that boss steal was a big moment for beGenius.
It's insane. 3-0. It just took them down 3-0.
Yeah.
They couldn't win anything 2 weeks ago. Nothing. And now all of a sudden they take down the Ducks. They take down Tricked. And yeah.
I hope Dinotan is going to be on this phone call again, because I want to see his reactions after 2 weeks of his team playing incredibly well.
There's another thing that also is pretty important now. beGenius is playing Team Liquid next week.
They are.
And that match matters a lot. Team Liquid needs to have a 3-0. If the Team Liquid wants to have another shot to actually take down or take over the second spot in the standings, they need a 3-0. And if you would have asked me 2 weeks ago, I would have said, like, duh, obviously it's going to be a 3-0. If you ask me now, I'm like, not 100% certain about that anymore. Not the way they are playing, and with Team Liquid obviously admitting that they are struggling slightly.
beGenius coming into the HGC Europe right now and are ruining standings left and right. That's going to be the second victory of the season.
Yeah, and think about it. This is a team that up to recently was 0-11, and everybody said, okay, they are confirmed for the Crucible. What do they care?
Yeah.
Why would they care? I mean, at that point, why would you still put effort into these games and say, they said, no, we have our fans, we have our fan base, we're incredibly disappointed in our own play, we want to show everyone that we are still strong, we want to work for the fans, we want to also get the experience for the Crucible, and they still care. It seems like they're putting more time into it than they ever did before.
Again, nothing to lose is a gratifying feeling. You can literally just put it all on the line and not care, and it's really showing here with beGenius. Again, they have the role swapped. They're like, you know what? Let's try something out. And it seems to be just enough for this team to unleash their full potential, which has been exciting to watch. I hope it continues, man. And now, I hope they don't fall out in the open brackets. I'm sorry, open division teams, but if we have more of beGenius like this, we need them in the next phase.
It's beGenius 2.0. It coincided with Heroes 2.0.
Look at that.
Coincidence? I don't think so.
Oh, conspiracy. beGenius here, man, making Heroes 2.0 look so good. So looking over at Tricked Esport, again, we know they're a great team today. Just didn't seem to be their day. A couple of missed calls here and there overall, but beGenius just being on fire as of late, shutting both down the Playing Ducks and Tricked Esport. And suddenly we're in a spot where our 4th and 5th place standings here, Tricked Esport, the Playing Ducks, even Expert actually getting up there, let's say 5th and 6th. We start to ask the question, are they too inconsistent? Are they teams that need to work on those issues?
I think they have to work on a few things for sure. And I mean, I'm not in their comms, so I can't judge, but it could be that they've been tilting at some point, that they just underestimated the opponent a little bit. But with Tricked, there seems to be a bit of a barrier when they actually go into the HGC games themselves, because again, watching them in scrims, they oftentimes have such incredible showings, and you've seen them also with great play in HGC, but at some point, it's like flipping a switch a little bit. I feel today they just didn't gain any momentum for themselves, and that's a problem for them overall. So it's a bit rough. They are better than what they show, and they've been talking about it. Other teams have been saying that the entire time. Have been saying, hey, we know that they're at the bottom of standing, but Tricked is actually a great team, but they don't seem to be able to show the same level in the official matches, and that is just a trend that unfortunately for them seems to continue.
Continues, but let's just go ahead and talk about today in general, man. What a great day for Heroes overall. L5 and MVP Black facing off early this morning. L5 able to take away a victory with a reverse sweep. And then we had that echoed again here in Europe with Fnatic taking on Dignitas. Dignitas was up 2-0, and then Fnatic won 3 in a row, and they cinched the spot for #1 spot for the midseason brawl. So now L5 and Fnatic are secured here for Sweden when we go to the midseason brawl. And the action will continue, too, later on today. Tempo Storm is going to be facing off a Gale Force Esports, the #1 and the #2 going at it for North America. What a big day, man.
Yeah, it definitely is. And this is one of those moments where, like, please, not again a reverse sweep. This is what they are looking at right now.
You might as well continue the trend, right?
Yeah,
like,
happened twice already. You might
Yeah.
as well. And, of course, both of them qualified now for the mid-season brawl, and we just had crazy games. Especially if you haven't seen the Korean show yet, you need to check the series out. It was pretty impressive. And we had also a variety of heroes there. On the last map, Sergeant Hammer coming into play. We saw Stitches together with that against the Morales, and that dynamic alone was already worth watching this series. Some great hooks coming out there. In the first game, I think it was the second, Atanas making a showing too, so you're excited about that. That's
Kyocha, I believe, playing the
stuff,
had a god swap that was pretty awesome. You can see that clip floating around the interwebs. Speaking about the interwebs, Monday and Tuesday, the Open Division playoffs will be occurring. I believe it'll be on twitch.tv/followgrubby. He's been following a lot of the action so far in the last few days, so make sure you tune into that as we continue to see who is going to be those top 2 teams facing off against our bottom 2 teams for the Crucible that I believe is happening. Let me get you the confirmed dates in May 27th and May 28th. So we are a couple weeks away from that actually occurring, but it will be a couple of big days of where we find out, are the bottom tiers going to fall out of the HGC and new blood comes in, or is the old blood still good enough to continue keeping it up? Let's go and look at the standings here after today's matches. So far, Fnatic keeping up with the #2, they are 12-1, and they get some distance between Team Dignitas and Team Liquid.
And for Dignitas and Liquid, there's still a lot on the line. It comes down to the performance on the last play day. If Dignitas drops a map and Team Liquid secures a 3-0 victory, Team Liquid would take over the #2 spot in the standings. But of course, we also have Expert here on the 4th. They're already secured. And the Ducks and Tricked, #5 and 6 with Synergy and beGenius on the Crucible spots.
All tied up, 2-11 here, and Synergy and beGenius have a chance to maybe switch spots here. If Synergy loses against Fnatic next week and beGenius wins against Team Liquid, what a crazy world we'd be in. But those are going to be some big matches next week that will be occurring between those teams. So super exciting stuff happening here as the HGC Europe division continues to show up the depth, man. And I just want to say one more congratulations to beGenius. I cannot believe that they have pulled it off.
It was super impressive. It was very clean ideas in the draft, great execution, and they definitely deserved the victory today. Tricked, at least today, just didn't show up, and beGenius took it to a whole different level in the last 2 play days with their performance, and I hope that we're going to see more of that.
By the way, we have Erikane here, finally on the call. Erikane, thank you for joining us. You're at a LAN center with your teammates?
Yeah, right. I'm online and friends with all my teammates, but not at Sable.
That is really cool. You guys are all together in the same room playing Heroes together. First off, just give me some general excitement. How does it feel to get a 3-0 today?
It's our first one, so we are very, very happy all together. And I don't know, like, it feels good.
What happened? When did you guys become gods? When was that moment?
I think the role swap helped a lot because we had like communication trouble at the beginning, and now it's very perfect. Like when people call and we are team, we play with our head, so it's fine. So we win.
Very cool. I'll send you over to Caldor.
Well, congratulations. First of all, you guys did great today. Very crisp. I loved it. I have only one question. Last play day against Team Liquid. What's the goal?
I don't know. We will try to beat them, but it's one of the best teams, so it will be tough, but we will try our best, like always.
So you guys are confident that you can make it at least hard for them?
Our goal is like maybe lose 3-2, maybe take 2 games, maybe.
All right. That's already a big shout out there. Congratulations again. You guys did well.
Still a big goal to get that 3-2. Now, Eric, before I let you go, it sounds like you guys have a lot of action back there. You want to go celebrate with people. Any shout-outs before we let you go?
Like, thanks to all our support, and thanks everyone for the support. HGC is awesome, and thanks.
Thank you so much, man. Again, huge congratulations to beGenius. The underdogs of HGC earn a 3-0 victory over Trick Esport, and they're looking for some more. And it's funny how humble they still are, saying, next week maybe we can get a lose, but it will be 3-2.
Vive la France.
Yeah, I guess so.